back to another video. Today we will be ranking all of the Big Nate Winter Break comics. Here's some rules. This time, all things won't be separated. I don't want things to be long like last time, and it must be creative and interesting. Now, you might think After Winter Break's comics is boring. Well, I'm doing it because some of these are actually pretty interesting, and I was like, hey, why not rank them to see which one's the best? So let's get started. 31, 1992, starting up with the very first one. This one isn't that great, and it's just probably not the greatest at all. It's just, I don't think it's very aged well, and I don't know, it's just not that good. 30, 2021. First off, the Sunday is very similar to another comic that they used a long time ago, but also, its comic uses the same joke as well. Please, author, please use actually new jokes, because old jokes are just not that good. It's just not the greatest, and I don't think it's ever gonna age well, ever. 29, 1994. I'm gonna be so bored after reading this comic, because it's not that good. First off, its Sunday is bad. Second, the Dr. Sarah Poole comic is bad because it just uses the same joke. And third, the jingle, no, I don't like it, Nate. It's not that good. Plus, this is just a horrible, horrible comic, and it's never gonna age well. 28, 1993. First off, the Sunday isn't really aged well, but the biggest thing is when Martin gets hurt. This was one of the very first examples of when Martin getting hurt, but now there is new versions, and it's a lot better. So, yeah, this one is not aged well, so sorry. 27, 1998. Everything is just not that good. It's not good. Yeah, again, it's not that good, but it's also just not really memorable. I just don't really want to go back to this ever again. 26, 2002. So this is just all about basketball, like, sets of stuff. And, honestly, it's not that good. Like, why would you just do a whole entire week of basketball stuff? So, yeah, it's just not aged well. 25, 2004. This is just all about art stuff, like magazines, a critic, and that's pretty much it. And honestly, I don't think it's good, and it's definitely not aged well. Before we move on to the next one, we're going to be actually starting in 25, because I forgot to put 2016, so, like, it actually is 32. So, sorry about that. Now let's go to the real 25. Just pretend those numbers don't exist. The real 25 is 2003. 2003 is all just pickles and, Nate Freda, cats, and basketball. Those mix of ideas is fine in back in the days, but nowadays I feel like it's not that good. So, it's not aged well. 24, 2005. Well, of course the Sundays in its comics are kind of boring in this one because it's all about Jenny, and the Sunday, I think it's definitely boring in the Sunday as well. And yes, I fixed everything for the numbers. Thank you for asking. 23, 2006. This again brings back an old joke. This one is all about how Nate loses to Arthur in chess, and it brings back it again. Like, why? I don't know, why would they do that? Yeah, so this is definitely not aged well, and they just use the same old joke. Boring. 22, 2007. This is all about Chester? Like, why? Why would you do, like, a comic, like, a whole entire week of Chester? Like, not that the comic is bad and all. In fact, it's kind of average between, but honestly, it's just not that great. 21, 2008. Like, seriously, why is this all about yoga? And don't get me wrong, this is actually a pretty interesting comic idea. But, like, yoga. Just yoga. Why yoga? Why? 2012. We're finally getting into the average stuff. Starting with Scribble. Like, why Scribble? Don't even get me wrong. This is actually an interesting idea. And honestly, this comic is very average. It's a Dio scribble in a comic strip. I like it. But honestly, it's not really that aged well. But I still like it. 2010. This is all about Nate helping Chad and trying to get into the peer tutoring, only to find out that he can't join in. This is a very interesting idea. While it's not the greatest, it's pretty clever. 2015. This is about Nate. I'm trying to get some cookies, make some cookies for the bake sale, and to help for a cartooning club. And it's a very interesting idea, and I kind of wish they did some more to this, because this would be a great for more another arc or something. 2013. This is about basketball and Devon Kanzelen. I don't know how you say that. But anyway, this is a very interesting idea because it's all about versusing another basketball player, and I kind of wish he did something similar to that. I know that would he would go back to his original ideas, but author of the series, can you please do it? This is a really good arc. 2009. This one's all about New Year's stuff and Arthur and Jenny nicknames. And this is a very cool comic arcs put together, because you get 2 in 1, and it's actually really good. So I definitely think this will definitely age well in the near. I think it's definitely aging well in the near future right now, or even right now actually. It's a really good one. 2018. This is basically the same thing, but it's a rerun. With that said, these both 2009 and 2018 can be interchanged because, they're exactly the same comics. 2022. This actually continues another arc that I told back in my New Year's video. Now, the reason I put this higher is because so far it's actually really good. He's trying to beat Arthur at something. Finally beat Arthur at something. And I like how the author is trying something new. And it's definitely really good. So far. 2019. This is about Nate mooching over and over and over. And Francis catches on his plan of mooching. And Nate thinks that he's not mooching, but he is indeed mooching. He's taking everything from Francis and some other friends. This is definitely a really cool idea. I'm glad they tried something very new, like the author, because this is a really fun comic. 1995. This is about Nate trying not to draw comics about Mrs. Godfrey. Mean comics. And he struggles and eventually gives up. But it's a very interesting idea, and it's very cool. 1997. There are 2 sets of comics. One set is Martin going on a diet, and another is a kid who tells Nate that Jenny asked TJ out and they're going steady, which makes Nate sad. And both ideas mixed together is really interesting. And that's why I put it up a little bit high on the list, because having both in there, it's very awesome. Oh yeah, and another reason why this is high, because this is the first time they show a colored Sunday. The first colored Sunday that he ever did. And that's why I put it up high. 1996. This is a really good idea. The idea of having Nate tell Francis to go spy in the teacher's lounge was a really interesting idea. And the only reason he did this because he wanted something interesting for the classroom chatter. And ultimately, it became one of the most interesting story arcs ever. And I liked it. And I always liked it. 1999. Mr. Rosa is back. And this is a pretty exciting comic because not only he's back, but it also means it's time for New Year's resolutions. This is definitely an epic comic, and I definitely enjoyed it. 8, 2001. This is basically a reunion with Chess Camp. 2 weeks of reunion. The first week is with Derek, and the second week is with the Brain. These are both the two iconic chess matches because they appeared back in 1999. So seeing them back just for a reunion, that is epic. 7, 2000. This is basically all about the new millennium and some collection of stuff, but also the classroom helper. This is a great way to freshen up its new way into the new millennium because it has new sets of ideas and this week, and plus it's really funny to watch and has definitely aged well. 6, 2011. This mentions New Year's and has an interesting idea. Nate does not know what to do a New Year's resolution on, so Francis gives an idea and tell him to be, less competitive. And he does indeed try to be less competitive, although he is still competitive to this day. Even then, this is definitely a really good comic strip, and it is really memorable. 5, 2016. Well, might be a sad comic. I put it up high because it's definitely memorable. And its idea of talking about Mr. Rosa and eventually Coach John eventually subbing fits the comic really well, and I like it. 4, 2019 Sunday. Well, actually, I just made a mistake of something. My list was kind of messed up. I put 2019 at number 4 for some reason. But I ended up putting the Sunday anyway. And I actually don't really care if I put the Sunday. Because honestly, the Sunday is really good. And I really enjoy it. So yeah, definitely memorable. 3, 2014. This mentions New Year's. Its plotline is really good. And it's definitely very aged well. It has a great plotline. It is very memorable again. And it's definitely one of the most underrated comics because this is really well done. 2, 2020. This one's about Nate making an IP. I actually love this comic because it is very new. It is very creative. Definitely a creative idea for a comic. And the person who creates this comic, you made an epic comic arc because it is very memorable. It's definitely the most memorable, and it's definitely going to age well in the near future. 1, New Year's Resolution 2012. Now, I did say that sets of comics won't be separated, but the only reason why I'm not separating this one is because this is definitely one of the best comic ideas ever. The author made an epic idea. Nate trying not to get detentions, and then Gina came up with a deal for something, and he really made an epic comic idea, which is why it is so memorable. It has definitely aged well, and is probably the most creative, which is why I put it number 1, and it's definitely my favorite after winter break comic. Now, you were probably curious why 1991 wasn't on here. It's only because 1991 was the start of Big Nate, and I felt like it wasn't really included in the after winter break stuff. And plus, it's the start of Big Nate, so what do you expect? Anyway, there were some mistakes hid in the video, but they were minor mistakes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.